Hi guys, welcome back. So I'm gonna make some sushi today. So in this video, you're gonna need some basic things here. Obviously you need a pan, you need some aluminum foil, some plastic wrap, some sushi rice. I use this organic sushi rice. Soy sauce, some rice wine vinegar. Today I'm using salmon. And it's I just get the frozen salmon, and I'll actually end up cooking it. And of course, you're gonna need some sushi paper. I use this stuff, but I usually just get whatever's in the store. So the rice, we'll put it in the pan, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna rinse it 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 times until the water gets a little clear. It's not gonna be crystal clear, but it won't be cloudy. You should be able to see the grains of rice through the water. So you can see here I already rinsed it, and now you can see that the water has come clear. Next, I'm gonna make a sushi mat, because if you don't have a sushi mat, you can make your own at home. And I make my sushi mat with the tin foil. Okay, so I get a couple of pieces of tin foil, and I'll wrap it up into a square. And so what you're gonna do is you're gonna fold all the edges. And then once you get all the edges, once you get it, I mean, you can make it any size you want, but I try to make it, I just eyeball it and try to make it the same size as the sushi paper. And usually I can get it pretty close without, measuring. I don't need measurements. That's crazy. But, and then what I'll do is I wrap it in plastic. You have to wrap it in the plastic. And then I'll wrap it up, wrap it on this side, and then I'll pull out another string of wrap, another layer of wrap, and I'll wrap it going the other way. Once you get this all wrapped up, you got to put this aside, and this will be how you will make your rolls. That's kind of the point of this video, is that if you have sushi paper, if you have rice, and you have some ingredients to put inside the roll, it can be anything really, you can have sushi at home. So you see how I roll it up? There you go. You have a sushi mat. It's no big deal. So today I have broccoli. I'm gonna make salmon and broccoli rolls. I don't really have anything. I'm just kind of in the mood for sushi, and I'm just looking what's in the freezer. What I do is I get it up to a boil. And then once it comes up to a boil, I'll put it on the lowest setting you can go. Making rice on an electric stove is very difficult. Much easier to do it on gas stove. And you can see the steam coming out of the pot, so it's boiling. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it on low. And you'll keep it on low, so you'll cook the rice. Once it comes to a boil, then you start timing it. So I time it 15 minutes once it starts to boil. So it'll be 15 minutes on low after it comes to a boil. But once you put it on low, you don't have to watch it anymore. Just set your kitchen timer, 15 minutes, and then you come back after 15 minutes. You shut the pan off, and then you put the pot aside and let it, with the cover on. You just let it sit for 15 minutes. I use the powder wasabi. It's because it's a little bit stronger than the stuff that comes in a bottle. And it's just 1 teaspoon of wasabi powder, and then 1 teaspoon, or a little bit, about a half a teaspoon of the water. So usually it's equal parts. And then there you go. You got your wasabi. Next, what you want to do is you're gonna want to heat the pan, because we're not gonna make this raw, okay? And what you're gonna do is you're gonna season it with the rice wine vinegar. So I get what's called seasoned rice wine vinegar, and it's light. It's on the light side, so it doesn't have a lot of salt and sugar in it. You don't want to stir it in. You want to fold. You want to fold the rice. Until you see it starts to get sticky. The rice will start sticking, and then that's it. You don't want to break up the grains into like a mash. You know. So once that's done, you put the rice aside. And I just put it aside until it becomes basically it cools off. It becomes room temperature. Sometimes I use brown rice too. The brown rice is kind of makes a mess. It doesn't really adhere to the rice paper too well, because it's not really meant for sushi. And I want to get the pan nice and hot before I put the salmon in. So the salmon, obviously it came out of the freezer, it's frozen, it's cryovac, and then after that, and you can see here the pan's ready, it's hot, smoking. I love that sound. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cook this salmon on both sides. I want to pan sear it so that it's about rare to medium rare in the middle. This is just a farm-raised salmon. It's not wild. I do like the wild salmon, but it's really doesn't really taste good with the sushi. And for whatever reason, I'm not crazy about eating the wild salmon raw, unless it's really, really fresh. And wild salmon usually is not that fresh, unless you're getting Copper River salmon from the West Coast. They usually have that once a time a year here in New England during the runs, the river runs. I'm gonna flip it over now. You can save the skin and you can take the skin off the salmon fillet, and then you can continue to fry the skin till it's just crispy, and then you can make salmon skin rolls. I'm not a big fan of that. So I just throw the skin away after I fillet the fish. So I'll take the salmon out of the skillet soon. And once I do, I'll just take the skin off. It doesn't really take that long. If you're wondering how long to cook the salmon, it really depends on your taste. You know, if you can cook the salmon all the way through if you like. You can cook it much less than when I'm cooking it. It can just be a little sear on both sides. But for me, when I'm cooking the frozen salmon, I like to cook it so that it's really cooked on the outside and then almost just rare, like basically medium rare in the middle. Run the knife along the bottom. Make sure you have a sharp knife. See, the skin comes right off. I'm gonna toss that. And then I'm just trying to figure out what's the best way to cut this. Sometimes I cut it cross section, or sometimes I cut it, a little lengthwise like now. But this particular one, I'm cutting it into 4 pieces. And these 4 pieces will make 3 rolls. Sushi paper. So I'm taking out 3 pieces. And so if you're gonna make an inside out roll where the rice is gonna be on the outside, I usually only use half a sheet. But when I'm making the rice like this, and I'm just trying to do it quick and fast, I'll use 1 whole sheet. Now the rolls you end up using a lot of rice, so 1 roll could be enough for a whole person. I have a big appetite, so I can eat 3 of these. But in the way I'm doing it now, it is a lot of rice for 1 sheet of paper. And I'll line up the salmon near the edge. Not on the edge, but just near it. So that when you roll it, it's rolling throughout the whole sheet. And I'll line up my broccoli. Now I'll just fold it over. And with my fingers, I'm keeping all the ingredients intact so they don't fall out. And then you just kind of pull the paper away as you're rolling it so it doesn't get caught up in there. I just put it back on the mat and I seal it. So right now what I'm doing is I'm sealing the roll. I prefer to use cucumber, but I don't have any cucumber, so I just pull out what's in the freezer and I had broccoli. And so you just want to cover it, and I usually don't bring the rice all the way up to the top. I leave a little bit of space. And I don't even have a sushi mat. It's so easy. I mean, because no one's gonna be, or I don't think a lot of people are gonna be ordering takeout for a while. Oh, I mean, I shouldn't say that, but I think sushi might be one of those businesses where it's gonna be tough because everything is made with your hands.